In today's video, we're going to be using the new BK Beauty Holy Grail Trio in action, and I'm so excited to share these brushes with you guys. This has been a project we've been working on for well over a year. This idea came to fruition last year when we were thinking about our 5th birthday, which we just celebrated in August. I feel like it's our first big milestone, and I wanted to create kind of like this exclusive collection that was elevated, that was a little bit premium, that just celebrated this milestone, almost like a collector's edition. So we decided to take our 3 best-selling brushes, which are also known as the Holy Grail Trio, our 101, our 109, and our A506, and put them in this set that's slightly different than our normal brushes, and I'm gonna get into all the differences just so you guys know, and put it in this elevated premium luxe set. So let's walk through these real quickly and kind of let me give you a breakdown on the brushes and what's the difference between these and the core brushes that you guys already have and love. So I'm gonna walk through all those details. I did post a video a few days ago where I talk about this in a lot of depth, and I'm gonna link that video down below if you wanna go check that out too. It's kind of like the announcement video of this launch coming. Okay, you guys, let's dive in. So this is what the set comes in. It comes in this beautiful giftable box. I think this would make a really great holiday gift as well because it does come in this box set, where our other brushes, they come more individually, right? So you get this beautiful, luxurious set. I kind of love I never really appreciated like the secondary packaging, like the unit cartons. I never really appreciated until I had my own brand and I know the work that goes into creating something like this, but I just love this little finish on the box. It's really beautiful. And inside of it, you open it and you get our 3 best sellers. You get our 101 foundation, our 109, and our A506. And you guys probably already noticed right off the bat that these brushes look different than our BK Beauty core brushes, right? If you notice that the BK core burgundy color is consistent from the handle through the ferrule. So that's the one key difference there. Also, you guys, the A506 has always only been available in the Angie Hot and Flashy color scheme. Now you get it in the BK Beauty core burgundy color. So you get your matching A506 to your 101 and your 109. You also get a vegan leather pouch back here with a little subtle BK Beauty logo. And this pouch is great to store the brushes. You can also fit a few other brushes in here. I actually like to use this as my makeup bag in my purse. Sometimes if I'm carrying a smaller purse that I can't fit a large makeup bag, I'll put this in there and I'll fit my lip product and maybe a small powder brush to touch up. I actually use the 107 from our travel set and I'll pop it in there. So it's just a nice little pouch you can use for, multi-purpose ways. Okay, now let's talk about these brushes and why they're a little elevated. I do want to say, you guys, this set is a premium. It retails for $120. You can only get it on bkbeauty.com. It's available today. I also want to say that our initial first supply is very limited. So we placed this order. We were hoping to launch in August for our anniversary, but things were being delayed. So in order to kind of rush and get some of them quickly so that we could launch this product, we air freighted a portion of them over. So our supplier sent a portion of them on air freight. Air freight is very, very expensive, so we couldn't do that with the whole shipment, but we did it with a small initial amount. So I think these are going to sell out quickly, but the rest of our PO is on its way and we expect it to be here in like 4 to 6 weeks. So I want to be fully transparent with you guys. If we sell out quickly, which I think we will, we'll be restocking sometime next month. So if you want to wait or hold off or get this as holiday gifts and you're not ready to purchase now, it's coming and it'll be restocked before holidays. Okay, so let's look at these brushes up closely. I'm so excited to share them with you. They're so pretty. I wanted to do a set like this from the beginning, but as we were talking to, our partners who help us produce the brushes, it's a very expensive process to do what we've done here, and we just really weren't ready to do that until now. And I thought that it would be perfect to do this on our Holy Grail because they are just our best sellers and your all's favorite brushes, and I thought it'd be nice to have just a special kind of limited collection set of these brushes. So let me show you how they look. You can see obviously that one key difference is that they are burgundy all the way from the handle through the ferrule, which is very different. Our typical brushes, as you can see here, have a burgundy handle and that light champagne ferrule. So that's one key difference just in the aesthetic. I do want to call out, you guys, that the brush heads are exactly the same. This 101 is going to perform the same as the 101 that you already have at home. This 109 will perform the same as the 109 you have at home, you guys. The A506 too, okay? The brush heads, the shapes, the fibers, they are consistent with what you guys already have. So I want to just be very upfront that these are not going to perform any better than what you guys already have, okay? So full disclosure there. The A506 is probably the most different because not only is the color different, but the fiber color is different as well. Standard A506, as you can see, just is a completely different aesthetically brush. It's just completely different looking, but they're gonna perform the exact same. So I want to share that with you. Obviously, I love this and I want you guys to have these, but I don't want you to feel like these are gonna perform better than what you already have. Just want to share that. Now, we did do some very special things to this brush set to really elevate it and make it very, very premium. So the handle materials are different than our BK Beauty. We used a metal handle. We also did a process to this, and I hope that you can catch this on camera, but did you just see how like metallized and like glossy and almost metallic how the ferrule and handle look? That is a special treatment and process that we did to this brushes to create that effect. And again, that's a very premium, costly addition to do to the brushes. So that is kind of what elevates it and makes it a little bit more premium, you guys. So I think I've blabbed enough. Let's go ahead and get into the video and we can get into showing these brushes in action. And again, I'll have all the details down below in terms of, and it's really simple, you guys, $120, bkbeauty.com only. They will sell out pretty quickly, but will be restocked in about 4 to 6 weeks, okay? All right, let's jump in. Okay, you guys, let's get started. I cannot tell you how excited I am to actually be sitting down and filming a video using the Holy Grail trio in a video that I can share online with you guys. I have been using these brushes for 8 or 9 months. Like this has been a long, long time in the making since we first got our samples last year. And I'm just so excited to share these with you guys and just kind of give you a refresher on how these brushes are best used. So we're gonna go in first with the 101 to apply foundation. And I'm actually gonna be applying a new foundation that I've been using and I've really been enjoying. And I think this is a reformulation or an improvement to the Born This Way Soft Matte Oil Control Foundation. It's 24-hour wear, it has hyaluronic acid. I have the shade Light Beige. It's a little light for me. I would have preferred to get a shade slightly darker than this, but I want to say maybe the shade up from this was a little off too, so this was the best option for me. Once it's on the skin, it kind of blends in, it looks okay, but when I first apply it, I do feel it's a little light. I've been wearing this for a few days now, and I really, really like this foundation. It gives great coverage, it just lasts all day. Like it looks beautiful when you apply it, and then 8 to 10 hours later, you'll look in the mirror and your foundation still looks amazing. Slightly blurs the skin and just gives a really smooth kind of airbrush look to the skin. I would say the finish on this is kind of natural, a little more natural matte. It's not real dewy. Obviously, depending on the skincare prep that you do before it, that could give it a little bit more of a glowy look if you want. But I just love the longevity of this foundation. It has been really hot this week in Austin, and this foundation has been the key to just having my makeup look good all day long. So I'm using the 101, and if you notice, I'm pressing in the center of the face with this brush. So this is the best way to get the most coverage when using this brush, and really with any brush, honestly, just doing a pressing, patting motion. When I get to the jawline, the perimeter of the face, you notice I kind of do more sweeping motions. What's really unique about the 101, and I think what has made this brush our best-selling foundation brush, is the shape of it, the size of it, and how the fibers on this side are longer. This allows you to really sheer out foundation and just get more of like a natural kind of sheer application. When you get to the front of the brush here, the bristles are a little more dense, so this allows you to pack on coverage. Also, the size of this brush is pretty large, so you can knock out your foundation in no time. This was one of our original brushes that we launched with back in 2019, and it quickly kind of put us on the map. I remember Angie Hot and Flashy loving this foundation brush, and that gave it a lot of traction in our early days. And actually, that is what inspired the A506, which is the concealer brush in this Holy Grail trio. And that is our best-selling brush. That brush is like just a viral brush. It is everywhere. So if you notice when I'm on the forehead, I kind of do larger sweeping motions. That's because I don't need a lot of coverage on the forehead. In fact, I really don't need any foundation on the forehead, but I'm putting a little just so that everything blends and is seamless and is one shade, right? I also like to take the 101 after I've applied the foundation, it's blended in, everything's perfect. I like to just go over it one last time. Now, I haven't added product to it. I'm really just going over this, and this is just one little last step to give the most natural, seamless blend in your foundation. If you can take this extra second to do this, I promise you it makes a world of difference. I also want to mention the key to using a matte foundation. I know that matte foundations can have a bad rap sometimes, especially if you have more mature skin or dry skin or textured skin, because a matte foundation can tend to look a little heavy. So when you're working with foundations like this that has a soft matte finish and that's very long wearing, you just want to be careful not to apply too much, because while longevity is definitely a benefit to a product like this, some long wear products can feel a little heavy or look a little heavy as the day progresses. This one does not if you don't use too much. So a few other things I want to call about this foundation. It's described as being weightless, and I do feel like it looks and feels pretty lightweight. It says 24-hour smoothness. Again, I would never recommend wearing your foundation for 24 hours. Sweat and humidity resistant, and I 100% agree with that, you guys, because this week has been sweltering in Austin. And last night I was looking at my makeup after I applied this in the morning, and I was like, oh my God, my makeup still looks so good. So I really like this. If you're looking for a long wear foundation, this one is so good. Okay, you guys, let's go in and apply concealer. And I'm gonna be using a new concealer. This one just launched. This is from Westman Atelier. And the name of this is the Vital Skincare Concealer. I got the shade Atelier M2. You guys, this concealer is so nice. Great coverage. It definitely feels like it's a skincare infused formula. It's very creamy. It blends out beautifully. This shade in particular is perfect. It's deep enough to really cancel out and neutralize underneath the eye. It's a very lightweight formula. I mean, even when I'm applying it like this with the applicator, I can feel how like just luxurious and smooth and how this just glides onto the skin. You can definitely feel like a uniqueness in this product compared to other concealers. It's very nice. So I'm gonna go in with the Holy Grail A506. This brush, I feel like it needs no introduction. This is our #1 best-selling brush out of all of our brushes. It is viral everywhere. And what makes this brush so unique is the shape of it. It's mimicked after our 101. In fact, Angie designed this because she loved the 101 so much. So you're gonna get that same benefit of having longer fibers here, which really allow you to sheer out product. And then you're gonna get the shorter, denser fibers here, which really allow you to build coverage and blend out. It's also shaped so that it fits perfectly in the inner corner of the eye and underneath the eye area. I've been doing this new thing lately where I take my finger and just kind of spread the concealer. I'm not really blending it in with my finger, I'm just kind of spreading it so I get a nice even application of concealer from the inner corner to the outer corner. Then I'm gonna go in with the A506 and I'm just gonna begin to press. Now, when I'm blending out concealer with this brush, I will do this motion until it's about like 95% of the way blended out. And then I will go in and I will sweep with the longer tip of the brush to just kind of sheer out. If you over apply concealer, which honestly, I think I over applied a little bit here, I'm gonna run the excess onto my eyelid and underneath my brow. This concealer is so good, you guys. It really gives great coverage and it feels so light on the skin. It's really beautiful. It has a soft, radiant finish to it. I would definitely recommend this concealer, especially to mature or textured or dry under eyes. So again, you just press, and this blends out your concealer flawlessly. It's so good. Okay, so you've got great coverage. Not only do I have coverage, but I also have a brightening effect underneath the eye. It's absolutely beautiful. I love this concealer. I have it's not a new product, but it's a newish product to me. Let's just call this kind of a new favorite. I've actually owned this product for a while, but I never really reached for it because I was always reaching for my Givenchy Prisma Libre powder. Well, as you guys know, they reformulated this and the new version is nothing like the original. So I've been on the hunt to kind of find my next favorite loose setting powder, and I think I found it. The Huda Beauty loose powder I've really been loving. So I have a little mini version here. This is the shade Peach Pie, but I also have another shade. I forget what it is. I'll list it down below. I have it in the larger, and that's really nice too. So my reason for telling you this is because you're likely not just going to be one shade. You can make a few shades work for you. What I like about this is it's very lightweight. It also blends blurs the skin beautifully, just like the Givenchy. It does mattify the skin like the Givenchy. I will say this does give more of a matte look to the skin than the Givenchy. The Givenchy, it blurred and mattified, but it also had this very subtle, subtle, subtle kind of natural light reflection. And this is definitely more mattifying. And I'm actually gonna go in with my 108 brush, and we're just gonna set underneath the eyes right now. We're not gonna set the entire face, but I do wanna set right underneath the eyes, that concealer, so we don't have any issues with it moving or settling. And I do find that this powder is light enough for underneath the eye area. It's really nice. I'm also gonna set just right around the nose too. And the forehead, why not? I am avoiding the cheek area because I'm gonna go in there with a cream product, so I don't wanna have a lot of powder there in the way. Okay, you guys, let's go in and use the 109 Holy Grail for bronzer. I'm gonna go in with the Patrick Ta Cream Bronzer. This has been a favorite for a long time. I love this. I have the shade She's Bronzed. It comes with a cream. It also comes with a powder. Both are beautiful formulas, and I use both of them. I find myself using the cream a bit more. I don't really pair the two together. You can do that, and that is a popular tip to do with this particular duo. Use the cream, use the powder. Some people like to do the cream first and the powder second, which is what I would do, but I also hear people love to do the powder and then the cream on top of it. So both work really well. I'm just gonna go in and use the cream today with the 109. The 109 brush is really lovely for cream bronzer, cream contour, cream blush, cream highlighter, or liquid versions of those as well. It's also a really great foundation brush, believe it or not. Similar to the 101, it's obviously smaller in size, so it's going to not, blend out the foundation as fast as the 101. As a makeup artist, I was always reaching for smaller detailed brush. As a makeup artist, I'd probably use the 109 as my foundation brush on clients. And what I love about it for cream, contour, and bronzer is it's the perfect size. Like, you can literally just press it right here on the cheekbone, and it's going to apply the product and blend it out at the same time. I'm also going to work it into the hairline. Oh, it's so, so good. Now, you can use this for cream blush, bronzer, like I said, a highlight, and you can use the same brush. If you do have one brush and you like to use it for all of those purposes, you're just gonna have to clean it pretty often. So if this is the brush that you love, I definitely would recommend getting a few of them, have in your collection so you don't have to wash your brushes every day. Now, this also has the longer fibers and the shorter here, but because it's smaller in size, it's naturally gonna be just a more dense brush, and it's gonna pick up and put down more product. So keep that in mind. You can still use the tip to shear out, but it's just a little bit more of a dense brush. So if you're using this foundation, you're gonna get more coverage from that foundation than you would if you were to use like a larger brush. So keep that in mind. Okay, perfect. Oh, that is so good. It's so easy. This is like, if you're a beginner in makeup, this brush makes cream, blush, and contour so, so easy because it's the perfect size. If it were too big, it's easy to make mistakes. If it were too small, it's harder to blend out, but this is perfect. I'm actually gonna go in and apply blush with this, and we're gonna go in with the Huda Beauty. These are the liquid blushes. It's called the Blush Filter. I have the shade Cotton Candy, and Nikki actually turned me on to these. I've had these for a while, and I've really been loving this formula. I have another shade that's a little bit deeper pink, a little more mauve. I forget the name of it. And I'm just going to apply it to my hand. I love to apply liquid blushes to my hand. I feel like I just have a little more control with it. Formulas are different, so sometimes they'll dry down a little quicker, and if I apply it directly to the skin with the applicator, I run the risk of it just not having a really beautiful blend. If it tends to dry in an area quicker than another, it might be harder to blend out and be a little more patchy. I'm gonna go in with the same 109 brush, and I'm actually just gonna kind of swipe it on a soft towel to just remove any excess bronzer, but I'm not gonna clean it in between uses. And I'm gonna use the tip of the brush. We're gonna use the tip of the brush versus the whole face of the brush, and we are going to apply this right here at the top of the apple of the cheek and then blend upward. And you can see to blend, I'm just pressing. I'm not sweeping. You don't really have to sweep or move the brush around. Just gently tap it on the skin and it's gonna blend out. This blush blends out beautifully. It's so easy to work with. It's one of my favorite liquid blushes for that reason. I don't like when liquid blushes are too pigmented because it's just very easy to make mistakes and over apply. Even as a makeup artist and someone that has a lot of experience with makeup, sometimes I can make mistakes with blushes that are really pigmented. The Rare Beauty blushes I find are really pigmented. I know people love that formula, and I like it. It's nice, but you just have to be careful and not apply too much of it because that is an easy one to go overboard on. Oh, I love this. This is just so beautiful. I'm gonna go in and add a little more. I would probably say this is one of the more user-friendly liquid blushes, just an FYI. If you've avoided them in the past because they're harder to blend out, this one is really nice. And it's nice because even if you over apply, just kind of keep bouncing the brush on it and it's going to just diffuse it and blend it out. So beautiful. I'm actually going to take this a little bit in the center of the face because why not? Ah, so good. This brush makes it so easy. Okay, so those are the three Holy Grail brushes, the 101, the A506, and the 109, you guys. So I'm so excited to be sharing this with you. We've been working on this for a really long time. We actually had hoped to launch this for our 5-year anniversary that happened in August, but it just took a little bit more time than we expected. So before we move on, I want to remind you guys, the Holy Grail Trio is available now for purchase today. We have a limited supply on this. I do expect that we're going to sell out pretty quickly. We placed our initial PO. I told you we wanted it back here in August. We couldn't get it in time. So we actually air freighted a small portion of our PO to get it to launch it soon. We have the rest of our PO arriving next month. So I'm telling you that because this first initial launch is very, very, very limited quantity. If you don't get it this time, we're going to restock in about a month. That's when we expect the rest of the shipment to arrive. So just wanted to give you guys that heads up. I've got a beautiful cheek color on, beautiful blush, but I want to go in and add a little bit more blush because I want to give a shout out to the new Ravie Beauty Baked Blushes. You guys, these are so stunning. I've been wearing the shade Daydream ever since they arrived a couple of days ago. They are absolutely beautiful. Truly, truly so beautiful. This is a beautiful shade, I think, for very light skin tones, medium skin tones. The brand Ravie Beauty, which is Allie Glein's brand. Allie is a friend of mine, and she was actually in Austin, I think it was April, and I got to see these and test these back in April. And so it's just really cool to actually see the final full product launch on the market and have one of them. And I'm excited to share these with you. I'm going to go in with the N15 brush to apply this. And I'm just going to pick up a little bit with the tip of this. These blushes truly do have the perfect amount of pigment. If you've used these or if you're going to pick these up, I wouldn't say that they're sheer and they're not fully pigmented. They are right in the moderate range there, which is perfect for a blush, and they're buildable. And I'm just going to kind of tap this directly on top of that Huda Beauty, real softly. Since I already had a little blush from that Huda Beauty, I'm not going to apply a lot of this. I'm just going to apply a little bit to kind of set that Huda Beauty and add a little bit more color and a little more highlight. What I love about these blushes is they give a subtle highlight and sheen to the skin. So they're not really glittery or sparkly or heavy, but they do have a little bit of a sheen, which just illuminates the skin. When lights hit the skin, it reflects it, and it just looks so beautiful and natural. It kind of gives you that lit from within glow to the skin. So I picked up all three of the shades. I've been loving this shade Daydream. It's been all I've been wearing. It's a really beautiful pinky peach. There's also more of like a mauve shade, and then there's a shade that's a little deeper and more of like this kind of deep berry, almost fuchsia color that is beautiful if you like a lot of color on the cheeks or your deeper skin tone. I would say the texture of this is like, I'm kind of describing it as being silky and velvety, which are very different descriptive words, but it's silky in the sense that it's so lightweight, and when you apply it on the skin, it just diffuses like softly and just glides onto the skin. But it's velvety in the sense that it's very, like the application is just very even and consistent. I love this. This is the perfect amount of pigment, not too much and not too sheer, but it's buildable. So if you like a lot of color, you can build it and get that, but also it's very easy to work with. You're not gonna apply too much of this. So absolutely beautiful. So proud of this launch, Allie, congratulations. Okay, let's move on to eyes. I'm gonna go in with an eye primer. I just grabbed what I could find. This is the E.L.F eyeshadow primer, and I'm gonna apply this on the eyelid. I'm gonna go in with my N16 and shear this out and spread it all the way from the lashes to the brow. This has been my favorite brush for cream eyeshadow, liquid eyeshadow, or primer. I love to use the flat side and just spread, and then it has a little tapered tip, so it really works to get right there in that inner corner. Okay, and now that we have the blush on, I'm gonna actually go and set the rest of the face with powder, and I'm gonna go in with the N15, and we're gonna go back in with the Huda Beauty. I have a little bit here on this towel, and I'm just going to kind of lightly tap around the nose, and I'm gonna tap around that cream product. I'm not gonna apply the powder on top of it, but I'm gonna just apply it around it. What that does is it creates a little bit of a border around those cream and liquid products, so you are not going to have to worry about those cream liquid products sliding or moving throughout the day, especially if you live in a hot climate like I do. Oh, the skin looks so good. So good. Okay, let's move on to eyes now that that primer has had time to set. So I'm going to be going in with the Natasha Denona Golden Palette. Somewhat newish, right? I bought this when it launched and I used it a couple times, but it's been a while since I went back to it. So let's dive in. We're going to keep the eyes kind of light today. So I'm going to go in first with the BK Beauty 212 brush. It's a nice crease brush. And I'm going to go into this shade right here called Flesh. And we're just gonna kind of dust this all over the eyelid. We're gonna keep the eyes very fresh and light. I actually have a dance lesson later today. I don't know if you have been following me on Instagram, but I am competing. It's actually a fundraiser. It's competition all in fun. So there's an organization here in Austin called the Center for Child Protection, and they've been around for over 30 years. They serve children and their families, children that have been victims of abuse or have witnessed a very violent crime. Like some of the stories are just they're heart-wrenching. It's unbelievable what these kids go through or have been through. And the center provides services that just kind of helps them right after that and helps them kind of walk through the process that very gently and caringly. Anyway, if I start talking about it, I will start crying. It's a really, really incredible organization. Anyway, they have an annual fundraiser every year called Dancing with the Stars Austin. And it's kind of like the TV show. So they pick I think a dozen local Austinites. I'm one of them. And then they pair us with a professional dancer. And we train and we learn a dance for months leading up to the performance. So the performance is December 7th here in Austin at downtown at the JW Marriott. And we perform our dance that we've been training. And I'm laughing just because the thought of me doing this, I'm doing the jive to the song Do You Love Me? Do you remember from Dirty Dancing? Do you love me? Do you love me? Do you love me? Now that I can dance. Okay, I'm gonna stop there. So that's the song I'm dancing to. Anyway, I'm doing 2 lessons a week for now, but honestly, I think I'm gonna bump it up to 3. I'm having a lot of fun with it. I will tell you that I have a lot of work to do, but I'm actually excited. I'm not scared. I'm not scared that I'm a terrible dancer and I'm going to be getting up in front of 1,200 people and dancing. Can you believe that? I cannot believe that. 1,200 people. And I'm being costume and it's going to be a whole thing. I'm actually excited even though I'm so terrible right now because I just feel like I want to do this right and I want to do a great job. I'm excited to see my progress and the improvement from day 1 to the actual performance. I feel confident that I can do this. So I'm headed to that dance lesson later. That was a long story. Okay, I'm going to go in with the shade Sandstone. I'm going to apply a little bit of this in my crease, but I'm going to leave a link down below actually to my fundraising page for the event. If you are in Austin or if you want to travel to Austin, they're selling tables right now. If you're interested in coming but you don't want to purchase a table, just reach out to me. I'll leave my email down below too because I can help you get an individual ticket. You can also just support the organization and make a donation of any size, and nothing is too small. Or if you're in Austin and you want to schedule a tour of the Center for Child Protection and learn a little bit more about what they do, you can do that on that link down below as well. And all avenues is support to me. So thank you guys. And if you can't do any of those, but you just want to send me some good vibes, mark your calendars for December 7th because I will need all of those good vibes. Okay, this is really pretty. So just a really clean, light, neutral, warm, matte eye, but I'm not going to keep it matte. I'm going to add a little bit of shimmer. I'm going to go in with this shade right here called Canva right here. And what brush do I have? Okay, good. I have the 209. I'm going to go in with this tiny little brush right here. This is 209. This is our mini shader. This is just going to help me pack a little bit of this just in the center of the eye. I don't want to pack it all over the lid. I just want it kind of in the center just to give a little bit of a sparkle. And I'm going to kind of sheer it out. So it's not a real heavy glitter, but it's almost more like a sheer little wash of shimmer. Lovely. The eyes look so good. Very light and soft. Next, I'm going to go in with the Lisa Eldridge pencil in the shade Burnt Umber. You guys, I owe you a Lisa Eldridge video. I've been talking about that for weeks, and I'm so sorry. I just have not had a chance to film it, but I wanted to incorporate some of those products into this video. So this pencil is so creamy and so silky. I actually don't know if I've worked with a pencil this silky and creamy. I'm going to go in with the N12 before this has time to set, and I'm just going to kind of smudge and blend this out into the lash line. This formula is really beautiful. I've been enjoying playing with her products. I've had them for a few weeks and I've been meaning to film this video, but I just haven't had a chance. Okay, so I'm just smudging that out and kind of taking that all the way to the inner corner, which honestly is a little bit further than I wanted to, but we're just gonna work with what we've done. So I'm just gonna smoke this out. Oh, it's so pretty. It's a really pretty chocolate brown. So you have time to move it, but once it sets, and it actually does set kind of quickly, it really does stay in place. It doesn't budge. So you don't have to be perfect with your line here. That's the beauty of this little technique. You can see that I have a chunky line that is not good by any means, but I'm going to go in quickly with this N12 before this has time to dry, and I'm going to perfect this by just smudging it out and creating a little more consistency to that line. And you can tell once this liner has set because you'll be able to move it and then all of a sudden you notice that even smudging it more, it's not really moving or budging. Okay, you guys, so there we go. We have a little bit of a thicker line on top, but that's okay. I actually kind of like it, which means I'm going to keep the lower line really clean and light. I'm not going to do any eyeliner on the lower lash line. I might go in and do a very soft shadow, but the upper liner is pretty heavy, so we're going to keep the lower lashes very clean and light. Let's go and apply mascara. So I'm going to go in with my Dior Lash Primer, and we're going to just do a couple coats of this. And actually, let's go with the Lisa Eldridge mascara. This is the Kitten Lash Mascara. I love the wand on this product. Do you see how it has a very slight curve? It has tiny little teeth that really help grab and separate each lash. It really pulls the product through each lash. I'm gonna rest that curve at the base of the lashes, keep my eyes kind of closed, and just wiggle back and forth. Try and get as much mascara off this wand and get it onto the lashes. That is the goal. Once you've done that, then you can start brushing it through the lash. This technique just gives you a really full lash line. It makes the base of the lashes so full and thick. It's beautiful. It's a great little hack too if you have hooded eyes or very, very small, like you don't see much of your lid and you don't like to wear eyeliner because eyeliner just closes your eye off. Do this little hack with your mascara where you really just rest it right at the base, wiggle, 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 and then pull through. Because what it's going to do is it's going to give you the look and illusion of liner, but at the base of the lashes. Oh, this mascara is good. I think it's almost as good as my Bobbi Brown Smoky Lash Mascara. That's my favorite mascara of all time. This one's very similar in a lot of ways. It's very, very similar. I think the Bobbi Brown gives a little more length than this one for me, but this gives that fullness and that fanned out lash look, which is what I love from my Bobbi Brown. I actually had my Bobbi Brown here. I was going to use it, but then I was like, you know what? Let's throw another Lisa Eldridge product into this video. Oh, it's so good. I also like the wand because I can use the tip of it to get right here in the inner corner of the lashes and just kind of fan them out and pull them out a little bit more. The wand's easy to work with. It's not a mascara that you're likely to create a big mess with. You know, some wands are a little thicker or bigger and it's more easy to make a mistake. Okay, before we do the lower lashes, I'm gonna take my N12 brush and we're gonna go back into our eyeshadow palette and I'm gonna pick up this shade right here. It's called Sandstone and we're gonna put this one just on the lower lash line. This is what's gonna be our eyeliner. It's a nice soft shadow, but using the N12 brush, it's going to make it look a little bit darker than it does in the palette. And we're just going to place this right at the lashes from the outer corner to about halfway over, but we're not going to take it all the way over. And then I'm going to take just a tiny bit of mascara and do a tiny bit of mascara. We're going to keep it light though. I don't want to put too much mascara down there because again, we have a pretty heavy upper lash line, so I want to keep the lower lashes clean and light. I love this look. I think my favorite look on me is a very warm, soft shadow look. So good. Okay, next we're gonna go in and do lips. Now I'm just gonna call it out, you guys. I did get my lips a little bit plumped the other day. I do it about once every 12 to 15 months. I get a little bit of filler in my lip. It's nothing I've ever hidden. I've been asked before on YouTube and I share it. And I did it the other day and you can still see slight bruising there. So that's why I have a little bit of lip color on right now. I'm just going to blot a little bit of this off. Just kind of blot it so that my lip pencil glides on smoothly. I'm going to go in with the Lisa Eldridge. This is the lip pencil in the shade Muse. This is a very, very silky, silky lip pencil. It's so good. And I love the shade. It's just a perfect blend of that rosy, spicy neutral. It almost reminds me of Pillow Talk, the first Pillow Talk, but a little bit deeper. So it's not as deep as Pillow Talk 2, but it's got more depth to it than Pillow Talk 1, which is perfect because sometimes Pillow Talk 1 I feel like it's too light for what I'm going for, but Pillow Talk 2 is too rich. So this is a good in between and it's so silky. You can fill in the entire lip with it if you want a good base for your lipstick to just improve the longevity of your lip color. And then we're gonna go in with a little bit of lipstick. I have a Lisa Eldridge lipstick. This is the shade Kitten Mischief. I heard high praises of her lipstick, so I was really excited to get this, and I love this. It's just a really nice formula. Not glossy, not super matte, just a very kind of nice, fully pigmented, comfortable, but lightweight lipstick. Very great wearability. Ah, I love this color. So good. So good. Okay, you guys, the last thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna top it with a little gloss. I have this Gisou Honey Infused Lip Oil Gloss. My daughter's actually turned me on to this brand. This is like a brand that's real popular with the young girls. They carry hair products and I think they carry scents, but I picked this up. Really nice. It just smells really good. It's very lightweight. There's really no color to it. There's a little bit of shimmer, so it just gives a really high shine. It's just one of those lip products that feels nice when you apply it. You know, it's sweet, it smells like honey, it's lightweight, it's not sticky. So I'm just gonna add a little bit of that. Okay, you guys, that wraps up this video. I hope that you enjoyed it. I'm gonna leave all the details again for our Holy Grail trio down below. Remember, you guys, this is live now. You can pick this up on the website. This is a very, very special launch for us. We started planning this last year, and again, we wanted it to be part of like our big 5th birthday milestone. I feel like 5 years is such a big milestone for some reason. It feels like our first big milestone. Like we made it to 5 years, and we wanted to create something special and unique, something that was almost like a collector's item. So we took our best-selling brushes and put them into this really elevated, luxurious set. And I'm just so excited about it. I think you guys are gonna love it. So details will be down below. Again, the initial supply is very, very limited, simply because we air freighted a portion of these so that we could get them, you know, here soon. And the rest of our order is gonna be arriving in about 4 to 6 weeks. So while I do think we're gonna sell out quickly of these, the next restock will be in about a month, sometime next month. So, okay guys, thank you for watching this. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you love this set as much as I do, and I'll see you in my next one.